Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q1 FY22 earnings conference call of Ganesha Ecosphere Limited, hosted by Antique Stock Broking. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Manish Mahawar from Antique Stock Broking. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Rutuja. On behalf of Antique Stock Broking, I would like to welcome all the participants on the call of Ganesha Ecosphere. From the management, we have Mr. Sharad Sharma, Managing Director, Mr. Gopal Agarwal, CFO on the call. Without further ado, I would like to hand over the call to Mr. Gopal Agarwal for opening remarks, post which we will open the floor for Q&A. Thank you, and over to Mr. Agarwal.
Thank you, Manishji. Good afternoon, everyone, and a warm welcome to all of you attending this earnings call of first quarter of FY22. I believe that all of you are safe and sailed through the severity of second wave of pandemic, which was much fierce and devastating in its effect than its earlier version. Starting with the quarterly performance for Q1 of FY22, I want to address that our performance of the quarter has been affected to adverse note on 2 counts. Number 1, a massive fire broke out on 4th of June 2021 in the fiber division of our Kanpur unit. It happened due to a mechanical failure in the shaft of a critical machine, and 2 of our production lines along with the building premises were destroyed in the accident. Second, the re-emergence of COVID through its second wave, which not only affected the lives of millions of people but also put on extreme pressure on economy and business as well. It significantly affected demand and supply side, both particularly in domestic market. I would rather say that the current quarter is not as hopeful as Q4 quarter of FY21 because of our explained reasons, but it is also not as disappointed as Q1 of FY21. Barring the exceptional loss incurred due to fire accident, company did reasonably good on operational front under the shadow of second wave of COVID. In this quarter, our revenue was rupees 198.6 crore, an increase of 186% year-on-year and a decrease of 20% compared to the last quarter. We have achieved production volume of 27,014 tons at 90% of capacity utilization. Our average capacity utilization remains at 100% plus, but it was on lower side primarily due to COVID-related disruptions as well as loss of production in Kanpur unit during the month of June. We made a sale of 24,161 tons as against the sale of 28,822 tons during Q4 FY21. The average sale price dropped by about 3% during the quarter. However, company did well in exports and made an export sale of rupees 26.65 crore as against export sale of rupees 17 crore during last quarter. The EBITDA is rupees 23 crore during this quarter as against EBITDA of rupees 33.13 crore during last quarter. In absolute terms, we earned EBITDA of rupees 8,500 per ton, which is lower by 20% from Q4 FY21. EBITDA margins during the quarter was 11.6% as against loss at EBITDA level during corresponding last quarter and 13.3% during immediate last quarter. We incurred net loss of rupees 11.6 crore during the quarter and adjusted profit after tax. By adjusted, I mean adjusted for exceptional loss due to fire was rupees 13.61 crore, which translated into 6.85% margins over income. This is 62 basis points lower than the previous quarter, mainly due to lower capacity utilization, lower realizations and higher costs. Explaining a bit more on the fire issue, exceptional loss by fire has been estimated to rupees 25.13 crore after adjusting for tax of rupees 8.45 crore. The unit is fully insured and the assessment of loss by the insurance company is in progress. We are quite confident in recouping the entire loss from insurance company. However, pending the assessment and finalization of loss by them, we would be accounting the income of insurance claim as and when the amount would reasonably be ascertained. Things are now looking up with the revival of demand and restoration of supply chain, as well as firming up prices, and business is coming to normalcy in this current quarter. as the insurance claim is expected to be settled in this financial year and exceptional loss would not figure out in the full year's result, as well as the heat of second wave of pandemic is not crossing the first quarter. We are confident that FY22 will close at a much better note than FY21, both in terms of top and bottom line, despite the production loss caused due to destruction of 2 production lines in fire. We are taking steps for restatement of the affected unit, and apart from PET recycling, we are also exploring to venture into other plastic waste recycling such as HDP, LDP, PP, etc. As the recycling industry of these products are currently unstructured and downcycling the scrap instead of adding value. Good demand is going to be created for recycled thermoplastic with regulatory compulsions in the form of extended producer responsibility, as well as pledge for sustainability by brands and corporate. There is a big vacuum in terms of availability of quality products. Either way we go, it will take around 6 to 9 months time in restoration of the lost capacity, depending upon the delivery of machinery. Currently, our execution of the Telangana project is facing slight delay from the plant timelines, primarily due to lockdowns and supply chain disruptions at our suppliers' ends. Now, dispatches of some of the machinery has been started, and we are taking all the required steps and precautions to remedy the current delay and to ensure smooth future execution as well. In Nepal project also, we faced some delay due to ongoing pandemic-related lockdowns in Nepal, which delayed some regulatory approvals related to the takeover of company. A 2 months long lockdown across the country has been lifted during later part of July 21. Now the takeover of the company in Nepal has been completed and equipment dispatches are going to start from mid of August, and production is to begin by December 2021, and results would start to pour in from Q3 FY22. With this, I would now hand over to the operator to enable us to take questions from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. Reminder to the participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1 now. The first question is from the line of Amit Zade from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. Sir, now that there was some destruction in capacity in Kanpur, so can you help us understand what would be the available capacity for the remaining 9 months of FY22 for our company as a whole, and what would be our revenue and volume guidance for FY22?
Amitji, around 1,000 ton of production would be lost every month because of the disruption in Kanpur capacity. So in next 9 months time, around 9,000 ton production would be affected. We are roughly making production of 1,08,000 ton. In 95 to 98,000 ton production would be there.
Okay,
on yearly basis.
Got it, sir. Got it. And sir, you said in the call that you would be getting around 25 crores from this fire insurance. So would be deploying that in again for raising the capacity back what we lost, or how that would be spent?
No, you see, when I'm talking about the recoupment of loss, the insurance is on restatement basis. When the capacity would be restated, we would get the entire restated amount from the insurance company.
Okay, so our capacity would be back again 108,000 tons reinstated.
Yes.
Okay, sir. Got it. Also, sir, also on the realization front, how has been the realization of the alternative products such as virgin PET and cotton? I guess that were on inflationary trend, but you highlighted that the prices of recycled RPSF has been come off in the first quarter. How do you see the trend going ahead for recycled fiber prices, sir?
The recycled fiber prices were under pressure during the Q1 because of the demand slowdown in demand because of pandemic. But now the prices have started to look up, and we are expecting the prices would track the virgin PET prices going forward.
So currently it would be what? So 72 rupees or how?
The current prices are about 75 rupees.
75 rupees. And you believe these prices would either stay at this level or improve from here on?
We are expecting the improvement.
Improvement.
Yes.
Okay. On Nepal capacity, sir, you said it will start contributing from December onwards. So what kind of contribution should we expect in terms of revenue in FY 22 and 23?
3 to 4 months results would come in FY 22 from Nepal capacity.
Which means roughly of 15 to 20 crores in FY 22 and 60 crores in FY 23. Is that fair?
Yes.
And EBITDA margins of 15%.
The EBITDA margin from this facility would be around 25%.
Okay, so 25%. Got it, sir. Maybe if I can squeeze one more question. After that, I will come back in the queue, sir. Sir, on this delayed capex in south, so how should we look at our gross block in FY 22 and gross debt? So how much would we capitalize this year? Are we expecting any contribution?
The entire capex, the most of the capex, you can say 90% plus capex would be incurred in this year only in South plant.
Okay.
Yeah. So around 350 crore investment would be made in this plant this year.
Okay. And even the peak debt of 350 crores
yes,
should be reflected in the March 22 number.
Yeah. On consolidated level, the debt of around 350 crore would come on the balance sheet.
So any kind of contribution in the top line as well expected from this one? Or that will mainly from FY 23 only?
Yeah, mainly from the FY 23.
Nothing
contribution to the top line and bottom line would start from the FY 23.
And not even for the RPSF? I'm not looking for value-added products, but not
some
even
part
for...
may come, some part like 2 months or 3 months revenue may come in this year, but most of the part will come in FY 23.
Okay, sir, got it. I'll come back in the queue, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Amit.
Thank you. Participants who wishes to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Rachit Gupta, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity, sir. Sir, I have a question. Why is the planned capex cost for the Telangana project gone up from the estimate of 400 crores in the last quarter to 453 crores?
We have made some changes in the machinery configuration to make the specialty products, like specialty fibers, you can say. Instead of normal fibers, we will be making the specialty fiber in the plant capacity, which
Okay.
would get the good, which would get the realizations benefit as well as the margins benefits.
Okay. So how would be the top line be changing with this additional capex being done?
The top line would not change much, but the margins would be better. We are expecting a top line of 600 crore. Earlier, we were expecting 550 crore. Now we are expecting 600 crore from this facility.
Okay. And sir, I have another question. How do you see this China Plus One opportunity for our company? Because most of the textile company are having this thing going on. So how do you see this for us?
We are also very much optimistic in the textile sector going forward, especially the exports and the demand from India will go up in European countries after the some ban on Chinese products.
So do we have any exports order for the upcoming facilities? As we plan to export 50% of the material made there.
Yeah.
So do we have any exports order as of now?
No, export orders would come as and when the facilities will start. There is no point to book the export order as of now until the facility is operational. But of course, we would be making the decent export from that facility. Our export has also gone up in existing facilities. In last quarter, we made export of about 26 crores.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, how would be the timeline for this Telangana project change because of the COVID and all?
This project, the operations would start from the Q4. Actually, there are 4 projects in these facilities. So the project would start from the Q4 of 22, and by Q1 23, all the projects would start.
No, but this was the thing in the last quarter even, that we'll be starting the exports from Q4 only. So has anything changed from the last quarter to this quarter?
No. From last quarter to this quarter, there is no change.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Participants to ask a question may press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Harshraj Chareja, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Can you hear my voice, sir?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sir, as far as my knowledge, the PTA duty on PTA has been removed, right? Which is a raw material for VPSF.
Yes, the virgin PET is produced from the PTA and MEG.
Yes. So how will that impact
our business? We are sorry. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So how will that impact our margins? Because it should probably reduce their prices, right, for virgin PSF?
Yeah, the virgin PET prices are affected by the raw material and feedstock prices, PET and MEG. But as far as we are concerned, our raw material is differently, altogether different. We are making through the PET bottle scrap. So the scrap prices are dependent upon the realizations of finished product.
Right. Yes, sir. I get it that our raw material is completely different from them. But as far as I know that RPSF is a supplement product to VPSF. So if VPSF prices go down because of the raw material prices going down, would that impact our volumes or prices?
Yes. If the virgin PSF prices goes down, our prices will also go down. And vice versa, if the prices of virgin PSF goes up, our prices will also go up.
Okay. And sir, how much of our raw material is being imported, or is it being procured domestically?
The most of the raw material is procured domestically. Import is not allowed of PET scrap anymore in the India.
Right, okay. So that won't affect our raw material procurement.
Yeah.
Okay. And so last, just one question, that in Telangana project side will be doing specialty fibers as well. So what will be the margin after that?
We are expecting margin of EBITDA margin of 18 to 20% in case of fiber.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. A reminder to the participants to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Palak Agarwal from Prabhudas Lilladher. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, hello.
I have just one follow-up question on the previous participant that, so as the virgin fiber prices are expected to go down because of removal of import duty on the raw material. And on counter side, you are also expecting your prices to get a hike in coming quarters. So
we are not expecting any downfall in the prices of virgin PSF. The demand is good, and with the firm up of the crude prices, we don't see any downfall in the prices of virgin PSF also.
But then you also mentioned that if virgin fiber prices goes down, then your prices will also go down.
Yeah, it is the correlation. I was talking about the correlation. If the prices of virgin PSF comes down, our prices will also come down. And if the prices of virgin PSF goes up, our prices will also go up.
Okay, so with respect to the fall in the virgin fiber, if I assume that after the import duty removal, the prices will go down. So after that scenario, what prices you would expect from here on for your product, which is currently at 75?
You see, there is a difference of discount of about 10% from the prices of virgin PSF in case of recycled fiber.
Yeah.
So that difference will be maintained.
Okay. And next question I have, the last question. So 5 years down the line, what kind of vision do you have, in terms of your, let's say, your top line or the, company's value, or I would say?
We are looking for a growth of 15 to 20% area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For our next 1 decade.
In top line.
In top line and of course on bottom line also.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, you may press star and 1 to ask a question now. The next question is from the line of Manish Mahawar from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Gopalji, I have 2 questions. One, in terms of, I think recently, Reliance Industries wanted to double the capacity in terms of in the south. So how do you see the industry shaping up in that front, and how do you see impact on us, if any?
Manish, the much detail is not available in public domain, but from the news, what we've gathered is the Reliance is not directly putting up the capacity, but they are tying up with some other recycler. So we are not having the much to comment as of now. But 2-3 things are clearly visible from this development. One is the industry is going to consolidate. What we are talking about since last 1 and 2 years, it is now happening now. The industry is clearly consolidating. The big corporates like Reliance is coming in, so the industry the pace would be fast now. Number 1. Number 2, the collection and quality of the material would be the key in this sector. Number 3, the market of recycling, especially of the PET, is increasing, and so the quantum of recycling industry will also be increasing. Number 4, we at Ganesha are having the significant, we are a significant player in the market, and we would remain the significant player in this industry. The industry would be benefiting from this move. We are of the opinion.
Okay. And if we compare our capacity versus the Reliance, so what is which we have around 110,000 metric ton of fiber capacity. So what was the capacity of Reliance? If you have any idea.
Sorry, Manish.
What is the capacity of Reliance Industries in this? Versus our 110,000.
Recently, we are not sure, but it is about 45,000 tons to 50,000 tons.
Okay, so they are almost half of our, maybe less than half actually, in the RPSF. Okay, understood. And in terms of PET consumption, right, in India, if you look at how the South market, how big is the South market in terms of PET collection, and how do you see the maybe the competition for us in the south market particularly, and our market share at the moment, if you have any data available with you?
Yeah, Manish, you see, the total consumption is about 10.5 lakh ton at present in the country of the PET resin, and out of it, around 4 lakh ton is in south region only. 6 lakh ton is in the remaining part of the country, and this consumption is increasing by 6% CAGR. So it would be around 1.85 million ton by 2030. So there is we are clearly seeing that the recycling industry size would be double from here in next 1 decade.
Okay. And how do you see our market share? Because right now, what is our market share, and what would be the number after the south plant will come, sir? What will be the market share then?
As far as the recycling capacity is concerned, we are having about 15% market share.
Okay.
And we would be keeping that number intact going forward.
But ideally, it should improve, right? Also, because south plant once come, it definitely will be much higher versus the 15%.
Yes.
Right
But it takes the time to increase the capacity. If the 50,000 ton south plant comes by the time, so it will take some lag in putting up the next capacity. So by the time industry side would also increase, some more players will come. So 15 to 20% market share we would be having in this market.
Okay, understood. And second question, in terms of, as you said, I think one of the participants' question, right? We have increased the capex number from 450 to maybe 400 to 450 because of the value-added products we are adding a capacity, right? So how do I think that we are also increase the revenue number in terms of south plant. So what is the definition of value-added products? Basically, how do you basically categorize the value-added products? Because right now, I think one of the presentation and one of the slide in the presentation I'm looking, you have right almost 45% of your products is a value-added currently. You wanted to ramp up to the 50% over the next 3 years. So what is the definition maybe of value-added products?
Definition of value-added products in terms of it is the dyed fiber, it is the high tensile fiber, it is the shortcut fiber for special applications, it is the hollow conjugated fiber. So these are the value-added products which are different from the normal fiber.
Okay. So in south, basically in terms of south, basically the most of the products category with also RPSF, also B2B, bottle to bottle, and chips, all are value added, or just partly value added, partly are generic?
See, these products are value added products. Already this is a new product line like the rPET and the rFDY. These are the value-added products, and when we are talking the specialty fiber, so it is the special fiber in PSF category itself. That category, the rPET and the rFDY is different category, and when we are talking the specialty fiber, it is a special fiber in RPSF category alone.
Okay, understood. Okay. And last question, Gopalji, just we are stick to our earlier guidance after the south plant. I think the last call, I think you indicated when the south will come. I think we have almost 1,500 crore for revenue from the consolidated basis from the company, and almost from 250 to 300 crore for EBITDA, right? We are stick to that number.
Yes.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
We are stick to that number. Yes.
Sure. Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Harsha Jadeja, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah, so just one question on your revenue segmentation. Can you just give the segmentation? How much percentage is coming from which product?
We could not get what the meaning of segmentation.
So I mean, what is your segment contribution? Like Europolyester staple fiber, how much is it contributing to your revenue? How much is spun yarn contributing?
Okay. So 85% is revenue coming from the PSF division, and 12.5% is coming from the spun yarn division, and 2.5% from the dyed yarn segment.
Okay.
Currently.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. The next question is from the line of Palak Agarwal from Prabhudas Lilladher. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So I have some follow-up questions. So do you have any update on government incentives which you might get?
The government is coming out, and the government has already come out with the plastic waste management rules in 2016 and the modified version in 2018 for extending producer responsibility on the package on the companies and brands who are packaging their products in the plastic.
So
now the government is putting the pressure on everybody to stick the guidelines.
So how much will Ganesha benefit from this incentive?
There is no as such incentive is not there. There is no nobody giving the incentive as such. Government is not giving the incentives, but the industry is consolidating the demand of the good product, the demand of the inclusion of recycled products in the virgin product is increasing. So the industry would benefit from that, where at present the recycled PSF is being sold at the discount to the virgin PSF. But when the full demand is there, when there is a demand for using, there is compulsion for using the recycled PSF with virgin products, so the demand would increase and so the prices would also increase. In that case, in that sense, the industry would benefit.
Okay, and my next question is so in last quarter, if I remember, so you were procuring your raw material at 39 rupees per kg. So what's the current price of that right now?
No, it was not 49.
39,
it was around 40. Yeah, it was around 42, 43. Currently, it is about 45 rupees a kg.
Okay, so our raw material cost has increased.
Yeah, raw material cost has increased.
Okay.
And so the prices of PSF has also increased.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Amit Zare from Antique Stock Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity again. Sir, we have done exports of roughly 27 crores this quarter versus 17. So what has changed in this quarter, sir, that our export have significantly improved?
Basically, there was two reasons. One is there was a pressure on demand in the domestic market.
Right.
During the Q1, and so we resorted to the export, and the demand in export was not that much affected that was as was in India domestic market. So our exports increased. We increased our exports.
And so, how is the margin in export versus domestic? Is it value is more in export or how?
The margins in exports are presently not that good that in the domestic market because of the higher shipping cost. The shipping cost is very high at present.
Okay. So maybe as domestic demand comes back, so we might revert back to our...
The domestic demand has resumed in current quarter. So we are hopeful that we will resort to the normalcy in this quarter.
Which is around 5 to 7% of our total sales, right?
Yes. 7%, around 7% of our total sales.
Okay. And then the other question, so you have said that you're exploring these new segments of HDPE, PPE, and if you can throw some more light on what would be the industry size, what kind of investments you are looking forward, and what are the applications of this product, where is it used into, and what kind of margins and realization are there in these products?
You see, we are actually exploring this segment. So much light cannot be thrown as about the margins, etc. But of course, the market is much bigger than the PET market. The total segment of plastic is around 100 million ton in the country, and the PET is only 1 million ton out of that. So 90% is the other plastic scrap. And what is happening is that there are recyclers, but the industry is completely unorganized, and they are recycling it is and eroding the value instead of making the value because of the technology, because of the capital constraints, and because of the unorganized sector. After this government rules of the PWM, plastic waste management rules, now the compulsion is there for the extended producer responsibilities. And given the pledge by the big corporates and the brand owners, a sizable portion would be required of the recycled stuff to be used in virgin stock. So we are clearly seeing the good demand is going to be created for the quality material in time to come. So we are exploring this field also. We are basically in plastic recycling, and so we want to extend ourselves beyond PET.
Okay, sir. So it means the customers we are looking here would be the companies who are currently using this HDPE, BPE 100%, and they would be reducing that from 100% to maybe 80% and 20% would be recycled material.
Yes, most of the big corporates and brands have already pledged to use recycled stuff 10%, 20%, 25% over next 1 to 3 years. So the demand has started to come in for these quality products. The problem before them is that they are not getting the quality product. Whatever recycling is being done, it is eroding the value instead of creating the value.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
And sir, one last question, if I may. Sir, you were question of the earlier participants on the incentives. So, but I guess the incentives maybe what we would be getting is roughly, that is more on the south capacity, right? So that number is still intact due to the SGST exemption, lower power tariff and all. That number is still intact, right, sir?
Yes. These incentives are available for our South project. The state government has given certain incentives to the industry in the state, particularly textile industry.
So to the tune of, sir, the contribution for annual contribution would be what, 20 crores, right? 25 crores.
Yes, 20-25 crores per annum.
Okay. And last question on the South capacity, sir. So we would be starting from, say, first quarter FY23. So what kind of contribution should we see in revenue for FY23? Should 100% should come back, or say 50% or 60% utilization level, sir?
Yes, we are looking about 75 to 80% capacity utilization FY23.
Okay, means roughly what, 450 to 500 crores of top line in FY23 additional from South.
About 350 crores, 300 to 350 crores, we are expecting must add to our balance sheet.
350 crores, sir.
Yeah.
And margins of 25% on South.
Margin, yes, about 25%.
Okay, that's all from my side, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Atul Bhole from DSP Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. So you have mentioned about. Good afternoon, Gopalji. Hi.
Yes.
I hope everything is right. Yeah. So you have mentioned about peak debt of 350 crore because of the South plant coming in. So does it include the working capital requirement as the plant picks up to 80-100% utilization in the next year? So does it include working capital debt?
No, it will not be including the working capital debt. But the working capital requirement would not be much there, because we are going to sell the existing set of customers. PSF would be going to sell the existing set of customers.
Okay. But the debtors days will be normal in line with the current debtors days. So some requirement will be there. If you assume
additional working capital requirement will be there, but not to the extent of our existing operations. We are looking some 20-25% lower working capital estimation. Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah. And regarding this fire which has happened, so how fast do you expect those two lines to come back on stream?
Sir, it will take about 6 to 9 months time depending upon the delivery of the machine. In case of PSF also, the machinery would be imported, and in case we go for the other plastic recycling, the machinery would also be imported one. So depending upon the delivery of the machinery, the restatement time would be around 6 months to somewhere near 9 months.
Okay. And the insurance claim will be received after the reinstatement of machinery?
Yes.
Okay. And is there any loss of profit policy, or is just a plant and machinery?
There is no loss of profit policy. It is only the just fire policy for plant and machinery and the building and the inventory.
Okay. And Gopalji, my last question is, you mentioned about entering into other areas of plastic. So it may be early, but any study you have done in terms of the economics of entering into other areas of plastic recycling, like margins, the capex intensity, or the return profile, will it be similar to our PET recycling, or is different?
Sir, as we are exploring it, but of course the margin profile or the return profile would be better than our existing PSF business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the collection mechanism will also be similar.
Yeah, the collection mechanism would be from same set of vendors from which we are sourcing the PET bottles. So the collection would be almost from the same set of vendors or from the same markets.
Okay. And probably we will start with any kind of a pilot plan for entering into newer areas. So how far away we are from those kind of initiatives? Hitting the ground?
Sir, we are exploring all the technologies, plants, cost, margins. So I think it would take about one more month to decide on the things.
Okay, right.
So by middle of September, we will come out with the final things which we are going to put up.
Okay. Thank you, Gopalji. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you, Atulji.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rachit Gupta, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. Sir, Filatex is taking a recycling project where they will be using chemical technology, and as mentioned by them, they will be using polyester waste plus the PET waste even. So can this technology affect us, or how does this technology affect us? Because they'll be even using the PET waste, but the technology would be different, chemical technology.
Chemical technology is there, but so far the chemical technology is not much successful because of the cost constraint. The conversion cost is higher because you first recover the raw material from the scrap, and then you convert the raw material again into the polymer. While the mechanical recycling is much successful because of the lower cost.
Okay.
Yes. So the world over, if you see, the recycling industry is using much of the recycling industry is using the mechanical process. Chemical recycling is rare.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Participants, to ask a question, please press star and 1. As there are no further questions from the participants, I would now like to hand the conference over to Mr. Manish Mahawar for closing comments.
Yeah, thanks, Rutuja. On behalf of Antique Stock Broking, I would like to thank the team of Ganesha Ecosphere for providing us an opportunity to host the call. Gopalji, would you like to make a closing comment?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all the participants. Hello.
Yeah. Hello, Rutuja.
Yeah, we thanks to all the participants, and we close the call.
Sure. Yeah, Rutuja, we can close the call, please.
Thank you. On behalf of Antique Stock Broking, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.